evening. 8:23 Sunday, June 8th, Pacific Standard Time. My broken glasses. My paperwork. So, wow. I can't believe I did that. Oh, there it is. These should be hooked on. You guys know what's going on here. There. And there. Okay, so I just hope this works. This is working. The last time I was talking to you guys, my volume was all messed up. This is actually also a test, so I don't even know how this is going to work out. But anyway, the last time we spoke, which is about 2 days ago, I made this knockoff pattern of this vest. I made this knockoff pattern of this vest, and the sound, my volume was really messed up. There was echo in there. I've been working, trying to get it all sorted out. We'll see how this works. But yes, I remember I told you that I wore a hole in this thing. My glasses are foggy. What I showed you was, this is the back, and this is the side front, and this side front right here has this pattern was shorter. It didn't line up right there. And so what I did was I did a slash and spread, and I thought it was perfect, but it isn't. It's off like a 1/16 of an inch, more or less. But the reason I'm going back to this is because what I didn't do was I didn't do a measurement. I didn't measure both of these. I just trued them up, and then I went from there. What I should have did was measure both of them and also true them up so that they were both the same length. They are not. I'm thinking about doing them over for another video. I'm not going to do them now. I'm going to put this pattern together, and that's what this is about. I'm going to cut these out right now, and then I'm going to sew them up, and I'm going to put pouches on them. Actually, I should have, well, I'm doing this off the cuff because I told you guys I wanted to put pouches in these on the inside, so I can make two vests and put heat pouches in one vest and put ice pouches in the other vest for when I exercise and run, to try and heat the belly fat and the back fat and see if I can sweat that off. I know it sounds like targeted weight loss, and that theory does not work. When you lose weight over your whole body. But I do want to increase the heat in these areas to see if, while I'm losing weight everywhere else, between my thighs and my hips and my arms, I can also hopefully heat up the fat in my belly and my abdomen and my love handles, and heat that up even more and turn that into brown fat and lose that fat. That's my hypothesis. It may not be true. It may not work at all, but I have to try. So what I'm going to do is go get some fabric, and I'm going to make the test garment. I should have had the garment, the fabric right here, but it's right over there. I will also try to put on the pockets, but I am going to cut this out right now, so I'll be right back. Like I said, I should have had this fabric within arm's reach, and I did not. That's my fault. I'm nervous, and I'm still getting used to this. This is just a regular muslin. If I'm not mistaken, I purchased this from Joann's. This is way before they closed. This must be at least 6, 7 years old, maybe even 8 years old. No, I wouldn't say that. 5, 6 years old. I bought the whole bolt. Anyways. And it has slid and twisted and turned. So the warp is off. Actually, I'm going to put this away. I'm going to keep it in arm's reach. And I have to do another step first before I do this. So. I have to make this a double. So I'm going to make a duplicate side, one piece. This is going to be one piece. I'm going to fold my pattern paper in half, and I'm going to put the folded edge on this side right here. I'm going to trace this out, and on this one, I'm going to trace one on this side and then one on this side. So I'll have 3 pieces of fabric. And I'm wondering if I should not have pattern without the seam allowances first and then added on the seam allowances. I guess it doesn't matter, kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. That dough? Maybe the cork board. I want to put like a silicone on this so it's tearing up, so it doesn't tear up. So when I knock off my garments, I don't have to worry about this falling apart. Because with now that I have the seam allowances on here, I can actually bring the paper all the way to the end. Where if I did not do that, I would have to make sure I had enough space. Kind of, so does that make sense? Anyways. There we go. Inside the cork. That can go over there. Put that right there. So in other words, when I trace this out and cut it out, there will be no need for any more outside because this is the incomplete pattern being put on here, as opposed to me taking this and then putting it on something like this, if that makes sense. And I can take everything up to the very edge. I'm going to show you guys. So if you can see this, the paper lines up right there, and here's the edge of the pattern. So I have about, at max, up to 3/4 of an inch all the way over here to 5/16 extra real estate to play with. So I'm gonna take this and header. This edge to edge. I have enough. Probably just barely, but I have enough. Get these both in there. Now I'm not gonna put this edge up against there. I want two pieces. And the paper is folded. So this will be one side, this will be the other side. This will be the right side, or the left side for you, and the right side for me. So, take my weight, paper weight, and I trace. I made some beads, and they are not good. So I'm probably going to end up using stock beads, which I don't like a lot of them. Oh, I was looking for that. Pretty good fit. Not so much that one. I hate that. This makes me so nervous. A little bumpy. That's beautiful. Just beautiful. Beautiful balance. Okay. My back hurts because of weight, not because of standing. That's why I'm making this, to try to help aid in my weight loss. hate making mistakes. Hey, try this again. Beautiful. Oh, didn't do the bottom. So there are some area. There's an area on here I need to tidy up. It's in the armhole. There's too much of a angle in the armhole. I did say I also wanted to make this longer. So I'm going to cut it in the middle on both pieces, and I'm going to bring it down between 2 and 4 inches. This is just the way I'm doing this. Other people may have different procedures. I'm nervous, so I have no qualms about admitting that. This is way, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work. Actually, you know what? This might work out. Even the slightest microscopic item. I remember when I told you guys that the end of this back piece, I did not give it enough room, which is what I was talking about when I also cut this, use this paper, and the hem allowance wasn't exactly a half an inch, and I said I'll figure it out. Well, I just did. um, so and now might be the time for this. Beautiful. Not actually. That is beautiful. So what I'm going to do is make sure. And the reason I'm telling you guys I made these mistakes is because I want to be upfront. I don't want to make it sound like I'm some guru and he's sitting up here fronting the whole time because I'm effing up. So yeah, that's it. I know I'm moving slow, but I did say that I was going to make these things from start to finish, and you guys can, if you want to see me construct a garment from start to finish, then yeah, stick around. I want to be able, I'm going to make my own patterns from start to finish, from the drawing / illustration design to the flat with stitches. Some people would call it a tech pack with the measurements in there and everything, and then the pattern making and cutting out the pattern, and applying the pattern to the fabric and maximize the use of the pattern by not wasting any fabric. I learned in school that those jobs pay loot because the more pieces you can get in square footage, the more real estate you can use up, the more money you make for the company. Because if you're just wasting fabric here and there, then the company is losing money. So that's, it's also in that program where I want to show you guys how to make these garments from start to finish. And again, I don't have any long-term experience in the fashion industry. I went to school and I did an internship. That was it. I read a lot of books and I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and of course in school, like I said, they talked about this stuff. But I'm doing this all off the top of my head, hoping that I get it right eventually, and I want to sell you guys some clothes. And if you guys want to see someone make a garment from start to finish, stick around. Before I take these off, this is the back. I wonder if I can show that to you, what I was talking about. I know I have that board back there. Anyway, when I told you I messed up right here, I know you probably can't see this, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. It's right there. I can't even see it. It's a little sliver right on this side, about 1/8 of an inch. I literally sliced off, and so this it doesn't go straight. There's like 1/8 of an inch missing, and so I fixed it right there. Happy accident. Center back. This is a large. Like I said, I wore the size tag off. I have no idea I know it was a large. So I put center back large on there. Can you guys see that? Center back and large. And I'm not going to cut this on the fold. I'm going to cut this out. But I'm not going to cut it on the fold. And right, it was the outside. Oh my goodness. See, I took it off too soon. See? Because I'm nervous and I'm making mistakes. And line it back up. I even forgot the top. Okay, so the outside comes off. And you smooth it. The rest of it looks pretty good. Two of my instructors told me that me trying to be perfect could be my downfall. But then you hear people say that that's trash, that's ass. Sorry for the profanity. If you don't put your all into it, you look at people like Janet Jackson and Beyonce, and everything has to be perfect. So where does that leave us if we're just doing things not perfect? I understand everyone makes mistakes. I understand that. But if I'm not trying to get this to the best of my ability, then I'm not trying to be professional. So I may go overboard with my perfection sometimes, and I apologize for that. Again, I'm nervous as all get out. So anyway, this is the back piece. I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to have one piece. This is the side piece. I did get all the pieces there. There is that hard edge right there, that hard corner I have to smooth out, I was telling you about. And it isn't like I'm putting a sleeve on there. But professionalism, seriousness. Better? So now when I cut this out, it will be in two pieces because there's the center line right there. Nope. Should have known. My back. Oh, my back hurts. One thing I learned how to do, well, we were all taught, was to grain line on the longest point in the pattern. And back. Side front, and large. Cut two. This is cut one, and it isn't on the fold. That would be a home commercial pattern or a sloper. This is cut one. I guess face down. So, here goes. Oh, seam allowances. See? Half an inch. lead. I'm going to go all the way around. But all the angles have to be at 45 degrees. Sloppy. There you go, the seam allowances. Did a halfway decent job too. Seam allowances. Matter of fact, you should just be an asshole and just they used to ding us for these little, non-perfections. But I was supposed to be not always perfect, so I'm not saying I was confused. Obvious sloppiness they wouldn't tolerate. I used to look at some of the other students' patterns and they would be so perfect. looking on TikTok and sewing t-shirts. I finally found some manufacturing content creation. Oops. TikTok. I know you guys can't see these, but I mean, I just went nuts. So this is where I wanted to be. I wanted to be sewing, manufacturing sewing. So, and of course, if you know TikTok content creation, when the percentage is in the red, that means it's active. When there is no percentage, when it's a blue or red, it's active. When there is no percentage and it's just a black line with a graph, that means it's the hype is died down and or it's over. So this first one that I found says manufacturing home seamless sewing, manufacturing engineering, sewing patches. I want to get to where I said ginger sewing. I don't know what that is. Denim manufacturer, outstanding, but there is no activity. Sewing skirt, Hermes, bag manufacturing, there is no activity. Finding manufacturer boots, chairs, Prime, factory manufacturing, Denso, China manufacturing, kid-friendly sewing projects, hoodie manufacturing, there is no 200,000 people search for hoodie manufacturing, but now the trend is dropped off to almost nothing. Let me go in there since I wanted to see in there anyway. The last 7 days, it's 2.07. Either that's 2,000 or it's 200,000. Or 20, I don't know. I would think it was 200,000. Yeah, 200,000. Because that's up to 240,000. So it's dropped down to zero. Zero activity for hoodie manufacturing. I can't believe that. I mean, I would think that would be a hot topic continually, but whatever, it's dropped off. So what I was looking for, traditional sewing, what I was looking for, Indian manufacturing, palette, Joburg, her sewing hands, they ruined her. 1,000%, it's active right now. Maybe she was, sewing ponytails, Vietnam manufacturing, updo sewing, sticker manufacturer. Where is it at? Partial sewing, aerospace manufacturing. Get out there. Oh, come on. I'm not finding it. Mini sewing projects, Philippines, updo sticker. Go back up to the beginning, okay. Engineering, sewing manufacturing. Nope. Oh my goodness. Oh, I lost it. Damn it. SEWIN. Sewing, MANUFACTURING. Sewing manufacturing. Search. Patches, prices, ginger, manufacturing videos, Hermes, manufacturing engineering. Oh, here it is. No, you guys can't see it. 1,000% activity right now. It's chinos manufacturing. This is what I'm talking about. If I could, 229,000 people have searched for chinos manufacturing. So I went on the net and I was looking, and it had the Gap and J. Crew and Walmart and Target, and they're selling chinos for like $34. But I bet 99% of those come from overseas. But what if you use someone like me, someone local, to manufacture your chinos? I would charge a little bit more than $34. but you would have them right here and you can watch me make them. Chinos are apparently, well, chino manufacturing is apparently a hot topic right now. I wonder if I should get up there so you guys can see it closer. You guys see that? Chinos. Looks fun. It looks it doesn't look, there it is. I'm messing this up. Anyway, that's what I was looking for. I want people who wanted to make these people were searching for chinos manufacturers. Those people to come to me to make their chinos, to make their hoodies, to make their. I'm not making any t-shirts. I'm making hoodies, sweatshirts. I'm not making any t-shirts. So, but that's what this is about. This is about. I want to be able to manufacture small runs here, if that's possible. If that makes sense. And that was TikTok, of course. If I mention that. I watched Big Brando. He's on YouTube. He does his lives. And he was talking about pricing. And he said if he could find a manufacturer who made t-shirts for $3 instead of $5, he would buy those. I love his content. He does the hats well. The hats are off the hinges. But if I did blanks, I don't know if I'd be selling them for $3. Definitely, probably. I really can't say that, but I don't see myself making blanks unless I used a real flimsy material. And I'm not doing t-shirts. I told because t-shirts are labor intensive. So I would look at some of the other sites I've looked at, some of the bulk dealers, and they're selling sweatshirts anywhere from $7 all the way up to $20, and I would probably hope to be in that $10 to $15 range for manufacturing small runs of $100 to all the way up to 300 pieces. That is still, like I said, a long ways off, but that's where I'm trying to get, if that makes any sense. So, again, here goes. Everything is on there. This is the front. I can see the lines, so that's a good thing, because I would hate to have to, well, I'm going to have to anyway, but there you go. So these are, actually, here. That's the front. Yeah. That's the front. And actually, no disrespect to the offshore manufacturers. Matter of fact, their stuff may still be less expensive than mine, to be perfectly honest. I'm not even gonna front on you like that. Like I said, that's the back. You put them all together, you turn them all around. That's what it's all about. Hokey pokey. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Now, I want to show you this. Take this. Remember the tape? We'll see if it works. She was actually telling the truth. My instructor. That looks like it's... I didn't stop. What's up with that? It's jagged edges. Jagged edges are a no-no. Perfect. As you can see, they are the same size, but that hole right there, that's going to give me that contour. You can't see it on here, so why am I showing you? But yes, that's that contour right here. That's a seam. That's that contour right there. You can see it on here. Probably can't see it on here either. Oh yes you can. See, that isn't straight. It's contoured. That's what that is. But the ends do line up. And I don't know, I wasn't stopping in the middle of cutting, so I don't know why I have my jagged edge. I must have been stopping because I got jagged edges, and that's a no-no. Ha! Magic tape. It works, like she said. You put it on, it'll take the oils from your skin, and you can reuse it, and not mess up your paper. And Aunt Judy taught us that. I don't know if I'm going to reuse this or not. I don't know. I may end up throwing it away. After all, it's have a bunch of my body oils. So what I'm going to do, because this is the grain line right here. Remember, everything has to go in one direction. So I'm going to open up the fabric as well. So yeah, fit that right there. I was told I was pretty good at this by other students. I hate blocking fabric. It is one of the most frustrating, not unfulfilling, but frustrating must-do activities. I'm going to cut it down a little bit because if you could see this fabric, it shifted. It doesn't, I know you can't tell, it doesn't tear straight. It goes like this. So. Yeah, it's really bad. This is part of the process. You have to block it. You don't just on the corners. Then you iron it. Still off. Don't even. Don't. I don't know how long I've been online. I should have started my clock like I did last time. I need to actually put the seam allowances on these two pieces. But I have enough fabric and I need to iron this. So what I'm going to do is probably do this now and then edit the video, because this is going to take a while. Because I need to put the seam allowances on here and then iron this fabric so it lays flat. And I'll have to edit this because I could be 2 or 3 hours doing this. How long have I been on? I can edit the video. I'm going to edit anyway, right? So. Even if it's an hour. It isn't long because I've watched people go on for 2 or 3 hours, to be perfectly honest. So, seam allowances, then ironing. And that's one thing I regret not being able to show you guys. I'm thinking about rearranging this to move the camera back into the hallway, because if I iron, you won't see me. You won't be able to see. Not that you need to be, but I told you guys I was going to show you everything. So it depends on how I feel. But yeah, I may move this table over there and then put the camera back into the hallway, and you guys can actually watch me iron as well. I don't know if I'm going to do that. It isn't that I can't. I don't know if you guys want to see that. There's a young lady over in England, and she was showing, the ironing. And she isn't the only one. There are other people. They show ironing techniques, but I don't know why I think that you guys don't want to see me iron the fabric when I told you I was going to show you everything. But if there are comments that say, yeah, we want to see everything, then yes, I will rearrange, and I will, in other videos, I will show you guys from start to finish. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the seam allowances on here. You can see that, and then when I iron it, you're not going to see me iron because I have to, it's a whole shebang. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get the ironing board out now. Be right back. I have 2 irons. This one, and then one that hangs. But I'm going to use this one can see it, the audio mixer and the auxiliary microphone. I hope there's no echo. Like I said, I'm working on the audio. This little point should not be there. See those jagged edges, and they're not helping me out at all. They're throwing my pattern off. That's one of the reasons I said I was going to make it over. But that's probably my fault anyway, because this has nothing to do with that. I mean, I traced it, but this is cutting, not pattern. So that's my fault. Not that it was something. Not that it was some kind of nefarious conspiracy going on. It's kind of obvious, but it's my fault. Yeah. So all the lines are in, and No more divot. Just the pattern. Iron is getting hot. Iron. I can see the lines. I can see the lines. Yep. That's it. I was afraid I was going to be on the wrong side. I've been known to do that. I said I have made some doozies. As nervous as I am, why do I need to have my face showing for you guys? As nervous as I am, I don't know why I'm forcing myself to show you my face. So you can see, hear me, put a voice with the face. Okay. Actually, since I did that, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Starting to sweat. Tore my pattern. I would have been upset. Ooh, baby. Okay, I'm coming. My iron is telling me to get over there. Ta-da! going to go iron the fabric. Actually, I'm going to cut this out anyway, so. I have the fabric all ironed out now. To be perfectly honest, this is the top and this is the back. That's gonna go right there. That's gonna go right there. That's gonna go right there. I guess I'm gonna pin it down. Well, one thing I did not do that I should have done was make the pouches. Maybe I will. So I mean, I'm gonna edit this anyway, right? So why not? My back. I can raise the camera up, but then you won't see this. So I have it so you can see me actually working. So. Ouch. I don't know why I'm doing this way because I have to cut along those pins. This is what I should be doing. Nervous. You make mistakes. Ah! Oh. Do not take the pattern off the paper until you're ready to sew. Especially cheap muslin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the pockets, the pouches, before I cut this out. I'm going to design pouches for the ice and then the heat. Not specifically in that order. Right back. Ice, heat. So these are going to be on the heat side when I run against my body, all across here. And this actually, and these are going to be, when I finish, I'm going to put 1, 2, all the way around. This actually, ugh. I was smaller at one time. It comes under my bust, so. Yep. It's off. What is that? That's how many hooks I was missing. The eyes are fine, but the hooks are. Yeah, I wore this baby out. So, can you imagine this? The heat bags in there, all the way around. And then after I finished running, there were probably 2, because that way. But actually, I actually also said, because that comes down there, so maybe I could get 2, yeah, instead that way. I said I was going to make this a little bit longer, so it comes down. Put 2 inches in here. I said 2 to 4, so it actually comes down a little bit more. But yeah, see, that's how big I am. You can see it. So I'm trying to lose this and this. You can see. And I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try. Right? Look at that. Whoo, baby. It's just debris. Now I have to watch myself because there's pins everywhere. Poke my bag, poke myself. So I'm going to make the pouches for these. And I've got plenty of fabric there. Actually, plenty of fabric there, not there, but that's at least one. And then there. So if I'm not mistaken, these are 9x6. It says microwavable hot compress in about 1 minute. From end to end, they are 7.5 inches, 7 3/8 inches. Wide. From blue to blue, 6 3/4. From blue to blue, 9 inches. Measure again from blue to blue. 6 3/4. Blue to blue, 9 inches. I'm going to make 2 at once. Why not? No use in increasing my workload when I don't have to. Yep, I sure am. So this is 9. inches. Nine inches. 9 inches. 9 inches. 6 3/4. 6 1/2, 6 3/4. Doesn't really matter, huh? You can take it all the way. 6 3/4 plus a half. Six and 3/4. 6 3/4 plus a half. 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 Duh. Half an inch seam allowance. 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 Oh. Tissue paper. Starting to sweat. Four inches wide, 5 1/4 inches long. Five and a quarter would be 5 3/4 with a seam allowance. 4 1/2. A half inch on either side. Whoa. Big mess up. Big mess up. means the top is as well. Actually, that stay there, right? Yeah, it takes it to the edge. There. The seam allowance is a 1/2 inch. Eight and a half. This is 9. Well, didn't I say 9? Did I not say 9? 6 and 3/4 and 9. I should have wrote it down. 8 and 3/4. I'm getting 8 and 3/4. Eight and 3/4. That's what I'm getting. How about that? How do you like that? Now it looks like 6 and 5/8. I could have sworn when I bought these were 6x9. Ah, here it is. Dimensions 7.5 by 10 1/4. I'm gonna just go off of those because I just messed up. Ten and 1/4. Ten. Uh-oh. 10. And 1/4. 10 and 3/4. With a 1/2 inch seam allowance. 7.5. That's the whole bag. Do I need the whole bag? Now I'm all 8 3/4. 6 3/4. I'm debating. Actually, I'm gonna go 8 3/4 by 6 3/4 because the paper is only so big. It's okay. I could be being too precious, too persnickety. But something's telling me if I use those measurements, the bag's gonna sit funny. Again. Eight 3/4. 6 3/4. 8 3/4. 6 3/4. That's what I'm going with. It's a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Eight 3/4. 6 3/4. 8 3/4. 6 3/4. 1/2 inch seam allowance. 1/2 inch seam allowance. That's for the bag here. Now for this one. This was 4 by 5 1/4. 4 5 1/4. Five and a quarter plus a 1/2 inch seam allowance is 5 3/4. That's only on one side. Four and a half, 5 inches. I'm going to go in the opposite direction, which I should not be doing. Cheating. Five and a half. 5 1/2. 5 inches. 5 inches. There's a 1/2 inch on both sides. If this was 5 1/4, 5 3/4. One. Five and 3/4. corners. Half-inch seam allowance. Half-inch seam allowance. Half-inch seam allowance. Half-inch seam allowance. It's inside there. Oh, B. Yeah, that doesn't. That's too short. Ooh, baby. What did I do wrong? 5 1/4 plus a half an inch is 3/4. 5 3/4. 5 1/4 plus a half an inch. Actually, it's more like 5 1/8. It's still 5 1/4 plus a half an inch. It's 5 3/4. So 5 3/4. I should put it on the outside. I wonder how I did that. It should be 5 1/4. Yep. Put it on the outside. 5 1/4. There. It isn't like it's a complex garment. There you go. So what I've done was I made 2 of each. So this was 4 and 5 and 1/4. Actually, what I should have did was put these on. What I am going to do, rather. Put these on paper. Yep, I sure am. I'm going to put the seam allowances on the brown paper. Just bear with me. I'll get it. I'll get it. This one up too. But actually, yes. it's cool. That's going up. Now they are going in the same direction. Thought you had me, huh? One direction. Same direction. And yes. Yep, that's it. So I should cut these out first and then pin them to the paper. Then put the seam allowances on there. 6 3/4. It's on the inside. All the mistakes I've been making. Shortcuts have never panned out. They probably never will, so. Set 2 of these to the side. 4. You don't need 4. You probably do need 4. Why not? Oh, but you need seam allowances. You're cheating again. You're taking shortcuts. Half-inch seam allowance. Half-inch seam allowance. Half-inch seam allowance. Half-inch seam allowance. The ice pouches are not going with the seam, and that's a no-no. Bad habit. In the future, I promise I won't. I'm just trying to get started. I've been procrastinating, and that's not good. Oh, I turned it around. It's going to be tricky. Very tricky. Half-inch seam allowance. That isn't going to work up there, damn sure. But it will work over here. Maybe it may work over there, but it sure wouldn't work on the end. So half-inch. Holy crap. Yep. Cut corners. You'll pay for it. Don't cut corners. This is for me, so I'm not going to do that for you guys, of course. And like I said, I'm trying to get started because I'm a big procrastinator. And I'll make excuses for not doing something, so I just have to make sure I get a 1/2 inch seam allowance in there. As a matter of fact, there. I don't know how I do that. There. Half inch seam allowance. Half inch. Fat. 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. Oops. Half inch. Go there. It has to come down. Out. Half inch. Ouch. Half inch. Half inch. On the money. On the money. No money, no honey. I'm not going to get 2. I might not even get 2. Actually, I can. So that's ½ inch. I have 4 of these and 3 of these. That's a ½ inch. And that's a ½ inch. And even a ½ inch. That is not a ½ inch. So I'm going to have to move this down until I get my ½ inch, which is right there. Then a little bit more. What? Here. Here. There. Because the first one didn't work, right? There. There. So I have 3 of these because that's not gonna cut it. 3 of these, and I have 4 of these. That's okay. I can work with that. $11. Ooh, pay attention. Pay attention. Two. There you go. 2 of those. There. 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 Too small. So unfold, unfold, unfold. I've got 2 there. Whew. And I can make up to 4 with more fabric, of course. And do I have one there? Let's scooch this. I sure have one there. This would be, again, so I have to pin it down. Cool. So I'm also trying to maximize the fabric, as you can tell right here. I'm not gonna break the rules completely. Okay, it's pinned up, so I just need to find some fabric for that. And I'm going to have 2 of the big pouches. Actually, I'm going to unpin this and then put this other one, these other 2 on other fabric, just like that one. So because I'm going to have more than 1 pouch. You saw me when I had the vest on, so probably for the heat and cold. I have some more up there, and I have more ice in the freezer. So yeah, this is it. Tomorrow, the next video is going to be me pinning those 3 up, because 1 is 2, 4, and 5. So I'm going to take one of these off and put them on some more fabric, and then that one. And I'm going to cut everything out and sew everything up and see how it fits. Actually, I take that back. Because I'm doing this off the cuff, I have not made the closure yet. So I have to figure out a closure that I'm going to put on here. Like I said, I'm doing this off the cuff, and I broke some rules when I made the paper go the same way. No, I didn't. For these ones, I didn't. I turned it to the side, so that was one rule I broke. But I didn't break any other rules. So I should have had the whole garment drawn out, but I couldn't get. I do have it on the computer. But it doesn't look right when I look at it. So I'm not going off of that. I'm going off of what's in my head. But I should be going off of my pattern. Actually, I see people on one all the time just making stuff from scratch. So, what I'm going to do though is make the whole pattern and then have all the pieces together, and then cut them all out and then put them on the fabric and go from there. So what I have to do now is I have to figure out my closures. Either it's going to be something like this, hook and eyes, and I can actually buy these from Amazon. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Or maybe even a local store. Or if I'm going to use something else, like a zipper at the front of that. Or buckles. I probably won't be using buttons. Or Velcro. Velcro, zipper, or buckles. That's what I need to figure out. And I have Velcro, zippers, and buckles. So yeah, that's what I have to do next. Figure out pin these three up, one, two, three, and the closures, and then sew it all together. So I will see you guys tomorrow.